Hi, this is Joel here with another review, and for the start of this video, we'll be discussing a 1991 remake, plus a sequel, which is Follow the Bride, which starred, of course, Steve Martin, Diane Keane, it's like a smoking hot Kimberly Williams, and Macaulay Culkin's younger brother, Karen Culkin, I believe it was. This, of course, Follow the Bride, for those who don't know, it's a remake of the 1950 movie starring Spencer Tracy in the Steve Martin role and Elizabeth Taylor playing the daughter in the remake. And they also did have a sequel called Father's Little Dividend, which, of course, both movies were remade back in the early 90s. The first remake came out in 1991, they used the same title, Follow the Bride, with Steve Martin as playing Spencer Tracy and also Diane Keane as his wife. And anyway, actually, even though I never saw the original film, I saw like bits and pieces of the original film, but not the whole thing. They took some elements of the original film and they put it into the remake. For example, the bit where Steve Martin's trying to save money on the wedding. Let me get back to what the premise of the movie. Well, the premise of the movie was Follow the Bride. Steve Martin plays in the remake. He plays a guy who runs like the small shoe company, and his daughter is coming back home after being a year abroad, studying in college for an architect's degree. So she spent a year abroad studying in Rome, and she's coming back home after a year. And she tells her parents on the first night she's home, she tells her parents that she met a guy in Rome, and she got engaged to him and wanted to get married, and which was a shock to the family. And then pretty much for most of the movie is the preparation for the wedding. And of course, the last portion of the film is, of course, the wedding itself. And Steve Martin is going nuts about how much money the rest of the movie, going nuts about how much the wedding is costing and how he could save money on it. And of course, that's pretty much what happens in the original film as well. And complaining about how many people, they call like $250 a head for this wedding because they're inviting so many people and costs us so much. So for Steve Martin's whole family, it cost them like at least $1,000 just for them, just for themselves, not anyone else. So Steve Martin's trying to call those costs. So instead of renting a hall for the reception, they had in the house, and they had like swans. They had lining up the walkway to the house, and all this other craziness about how much of the wedding cake costs, because like $1,200 for the wedding cake. And of course, the famous scene, of course, more when they mentioned Steve was Morgan Short played the wedding coordinator, which of course he does. What the hell is a wedding coordinator? And of course, Morgan Short used an accent in his character, and it says a cack. What a cack, exaggerated accents. And B.D. Wong, who was famous for being in Law and Order, Special Victims Unit series for a couple of years, and he was also in Jurassic Park. They were scientists in Jurassic Park, and he played, Fox. It's actually Frank. It's pronounced Frank. His name. And he played his assistant in the movie, and he speaks with a thick Asian accent, which in spite of the movie even though it was 1991, was starting to be more and more politically correct, I'm surprised they didn't make a stink using this exaggerated Asian accent. I'm surprised they make a stink of that character. Anyway, they had it was pretty funny with him always complaining with the prices of the wedding, and all this type of stuff. But all in all, I thought it was a very entertaining film, and they took some portion of the film, original film, into this movie. I only mentioned the business complaining about how much the ring is going to cost, and how much the rain cake costs, and how much money he has to pay per person. 250 a head, 150 people or 250 a head. And plus, of course, he made fun of the cake. It said my first card, and it cost $1,200. And of course, Martin Short says to him, "Well, welcome to the '90s, Mr. Banks." And of course, they all made fun of him for it. And also, of course, the other scene that they took out of the original film was a scene where Steve Martin took out his old tuxedo. See, and it said, "Oh, look, see, it still fits." And then Jason opened up a side door for the workers to go in and out, and the whole back rips. So he has made a whole new tuxedo for himself. That stuff is just, typical family movie stuff. And then, of course, one thing he didn't mention was how great Kimberly Williams was in this movie. I think this was one of the first, if not the first movie that she starred in. And I've never seen her before in any of the movie. I thought she was gorgeous, and in this movie, I thought she was great. And I think in that time she was like America's sweetheart at that time. Even though I don't think she made any more big movies at the time, at least ones that I know of. Of course, years later, she starred in the television show with James Belushi, According to Jim. She starred in that series for a few years. So there's only two things I ever seen him in was the James Belushi show and these two movies. Well, a few years later, about 4 years after the remake got high praise because it was a great movie, and it is entertaining. It still holds up, today more than 20 years later it came out. But a sequel came out in 1995. Appropriately enough, it's called Follow the Bright Part 2. And of course, in this movie, they found out that Steve Martin's character is going through a midlife crisis, and he decides to dye his hair black, like mine, and decides to sell the house, and he gets the house back with some shenanigans. He gets the house back, and I thought the sequel of the film was really lousy. Compared to the first one. The first one I liked a lot. The second movie I really didn't like until the very end of the film, which I'm going to get to in a minute. The end of the film I really, really liked. It didn't have this whole plot where the daughter, well actually they pretty much brought back most of the original cast, including the in-laws, which they didn't discuss in the first film, in the scene where Steve Martin and Diane Keaton meets the parents of the guy that the daughter is engaged to, and this whole funny scene where he's in the house, goes up to the bathroom, he goes to the next room, finds the desk with bank books. Oh, see how much money they got according to me, and went into the dome and pictures. He falls into the pool. I mean, it was really a great physical comedy scene in the first one. For the second one, they brought back pretty much the entire cast. Even the more short character they brought back, which was just ridiculous. I mean, why in the hell they even brought this character back? I have no idea. And all of a sudden, instead of being a caterer or a rain consultant, now all of a sudden it's into aerobics, being a aerobics instructor. And which was, oh man, what a waste to have. Martin Short was so good in the first movie. In the first Follow the Bright film. In the second one, it's just a waste to have this character in there. I mean, he helped the first movie so much that he pretty much killed the second movie. He was horrible in the second one, in my opinion. But then in the found out that the daughter gets pregnant, and was of course going to be the first grandchild, of course. And then you had, for some crazy reason, George, the Martin character, he goes nuts, and he all of a sudden he gets hornier than a sailor on leave. He gets him knocking up Diane Keaton's character, and so she gets pregnant as well. There's no way in hell should the mother or Diane Keaton's character should be pregnant in this movie. I mean, it was so stupid. I mean, she was like in her 60s, I think. Late 50s, she was like way past her, getting pregnant years. I mean, she shouldn't even be pregnant. She would be going through menopause. I'm going through a pregnancy. In this movie, and at least I think so. I mean, it was really ridiculous that that Diane Keaton's character was pregnant at the same time as the daughter. I thought it was really ridiculous. I think that they should have just focused on the daughter, and that's it. So the second half of the film, or at least towards the end of the film, that's when the moment happens when the daughter gets pregnant, and at the same time, she finds out that she got an architect job in Boston. So they're going to move, like sometime after she has the baby, goes to maternity leave, she's going to go and accept this job in Boston. So they're going to leave. Then, and of course when the daughter, Kimberly Williams, gets pregnant, she already was pregnant when she gives birth. Diane Keaton's character gives birth at the same time. So both of them, the brother and the grandchild, get born at the same time. And of course the daughter gives birth to a son, and they decide to name the baby after Dee Morin's character. Name him George. And of course only in the movies that they worked it out when the daughter gets a new brother and her own child born the same day. They worked it out in the movie, but of course the movie ends with the daughter and her husband and the baby. They all move away and trying to figure out like a schedule when they could visit each other. When Seymour goes to Boston, Seymour and Diane Keaton's character goes to Boston, or vice versa. So they can visit the baby more, so they can visit the grandchild and all that stuff. That's pretty much how the second movie ended. But I thought, the second movie was just. I can understand why they made the second movie, because the first movie made a decent amount of money. I don't know how much money on top of what the actual figures were, because it was such a long time ago. But I knew how much there was made a pretty decent amount of loot, at least enough to make the sequel. And originally, when they made The Father of the Bride in 1950, they did make a sequel called Father's Low Dividend. And I think they also had a thing with Elizabeth Taylor's character got pregnant in that movie. I know because I haven't seen. I also seen like really bits and pieces of the sequel as well, plus the original Father of the Bride film. So I really can't, properly really give a proper review of both or compare both films, the remakes and the original. But the original remake of Father of the Bride, that was a very, very good film. I recommend just watching that one. And forget the second one. The second one just a waste. If you want to see the second one, just to say, hey, we saw the second one as well. Fine. It was like a waste of time. For me, it was just a waste. I mean, it was a decent. It was like an okay follow-up, but not a great follow-up. And I already mentioned why. Bringing back more in short, it was just for a sequel. It was just a waste of time to bring them back. Waste. And that's how I feel about the second movie. So that's my review of the Father of the Bride films. Please click on the film review. Please made it. Please click on my channel and please follow my video to my Facebook pages and also you check out valleyc.com for my older videos, plus TV trash reviews on valleyc.com, plus other content as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.